Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another session of Author's Corner. Today, I'm in conversation with a very, very passionate soul, Miss Neeti Parti. Welcome on board, Neeti.
थैंक यू सो मच निशा एंड दैट्स वन पैशनेट पर्सन टू अनदर आप तो खूब हैं आपका पैशन क्या बेजोड़ है
We are learning from you. Thank you so much, Neeti. And before we proceed, I'll give a short, brief intro of Neeti, which is not brief. So I'll read it out, and if I get breathless, Neeti is to be blamed. Niti Pati is an educationist, a prize winning poetess and writer, an exhibited artist and editor, a keen environmentalist, an RJ, and a television artist. So many hats. She is the education director of a renowned chain of schools, and as a founder principal, she received the award for Best Upcoming School in UP. She has contributed to more than 40 anthologies and edited or compiled seven of them. For her creative efforts, Neeti has received multiple awards. Some of them I would like to mention: Indian Women Achiever Award 2021 for Literature, Best Editor Group Anthology for her book Color My World Green, which we will be discussing today, the Best New Editor Award for Impish Class publication, the Prasanna Jaina Memorial Award 2019, Certificate of Excellence for English Short Writing on Women Empowerment, and Golden Star Award 2020 citation at Litroma Literature Society. Thank you so much for joining us, Neeti, today. A warm welcome.
thank you nisha so much for having me it's an honor to be here on the same platform as you and I
Thank
have
you.
to thank in fact at the very onset I must thank ALS and more than anybody else, Manoj Krishnan. It was not long ago that I met Manoj Krishnan. In fact, the very first time that I was on an ALS platform was for a launch of a book, somebody else's. I was a part of the anthology. And I saw it was a hall full of people, and Manoj was the celebrity, but he was surrounded by such a warm family that somewhere inside me I felt, oh, I want to be there too. And maybe there was somebody listening to me. And I am now a part of ALS. And I feel Manoj Krishnan, especially, I need to say this, from then to now, he's risen like a star, and God bless him. He's a man with a vision and, followed his dream and seen it through. I think we need to tell our children about him. Thank you, Manoj, and thank you, Nisha, for having me.
Thank you so much. I think you have spoken. I think we could not put it in better words than you, Neeti. Thank you for speaking on our behalf. Also, Manoj deserves every bit of it.
Absolutely. And he
Okay.
pushes us to our limit, making us write on a variety of topics and, all kinds of challenges he keeps throwing. Now they've become so much that I am, I begin to get really excited about what is going to happen next.
Yes, absolutely. So he keeps us on our toes, literally.
Absolutely. The mental tours, the worst ones. VERSE.
True, true. But I think because we are so adventurous, so I really enjoy this. Sometimes I give up, and then on a Thursday night I'll say, no, let me just try. Let me give it a shot. Let me not give up. So, we are there, perpetually on our feet, but we are doing it. So I think all thanks to his
Absolutely.
vision, like you said.
Indeed.
Thank you so much, Neeti. Now, since we are discussing your anthology and you have so passionately put it together. So, this forum belongs to you. We want you to share your journey with Color My World Green, World Green, and just show us the picture that you painted for it, the cover picture, and then the anthology, and then we will discuss in details.
Thank you, Nisha. I have to name another wonderful person who's behind this anthology, and that is Meena Mishra of the Impish Last publication. She's the CEO, another figure to look up to. She's fantastic. It's her, again, who gave me this platform and the leeway to do what I wish to with the book. And it's thanks to her, it's there. The cover, when I was uh, doing the book and discussing the cover, there was something in me that just wasn't, be able to accept whatever I was seeing. It was basically taking ideas from, images from here or there, and then fitting them in. which somehow, I felt since it's my book, I'm doing it with my heart, so let me paint my own cover. And since it's a green book and it speaks about life, I wanted to draw and paint the tree of life, which I have done. So I am here to share this with you, the original painting as I did it.
Yes,
Let me just get the angle right.
that is
So
so
here,
beautiful. It's so
thank you
intricate,
so much.
Neeti. Yeah, and can you share the size of this? Can you just share the size that you have painted and what paints have you used for this?
Yes, I think it is about 18 inches by about 15 inches, or is it 20 by 17, something like that. It's rather huge. And I painted it with a lot of aram, say, doing every leaf and every bit, coloring every feather of the bird, because it was so dear to me. But then that's how
Wow,
it should be, isn't it? I mean, we should love every leaf and every
absolutely.
bird and every flower that exists and is God's creation.
And I feel so privileged and honored to be a part of this. So I think it is high time we showed off our books to the audience. So Niti, can we go? Can
You
we
are a part of
let
it,
the audience
Nisha.
be jealous?
ये
So this is
लीजिए.
the book. Today we'll be discussing with Neeti, and I'm privileged to I contribute two of my poetries for this. Thanks to Neeti, and I was very apprehensive because I knew what background Neeti was coming from, and I was scared to share my poetry with her. But thank you, Neeti. I mean, you made me so much at ease once I shared. I thought I did the right thing, by writing those lines. Thank you
Oh,
so much,
absolutely.
Neeti.
I waited and I waited for your poems to arrive, and then it was so nice to have them finally within the pages. And now they are there forever. Your
Yes,
words,
absolutely. And I like it
beautiful
because it's
words.
more, yeah, it is a colored version, of the paperback. So I think that adds a little
Yes.
more value because greenery is all about color. So if you had those pictures in black and white, probably, the impact wouldn't be so great. So I think that was a good decision.
Actually, the thing is that I wanted to put in as much color and
Yes.
depict as much of the environment's beauty as it exists. And so much of it is color, like you say. And thank you again to Meena Mishra. She agreed to it. And a lot of my photographs are within that. That's another
Yes.
thing I did. I put in a lot of my photographs into the book to make it, more alive and more mine, so to speak. But I must not continue to say mine because it is a treasure that belongs to 53 great, wonderful, absolutely fantastic writers who poured their heart into it. And I am eternally, eternally grateful.
Apart from a person that you are, we are in awe of your photography also. So
No,
every picture you click has a message, has a story behind it. It is just not like as a tourist you'd walk into a place and then click a picture. You compile it so well, compose that whole frame is so beautiful. I think it adds a lot of value. So thank you, Neeti,
thank
for
you.
that.
Thank you, Nisha. Thank you so
So,
much.
so a little more about the book. Why color my world green? How did you think about this theme? And ask did you convey the message to the writers, or how did you go about it?
I've often wondered what my connect is to the world as far as the environment is concerned. And it's very difficult to put your finger on it. Maybe I'm Destiny's Child, maybe I'm environment's little baby. And, being an army officer's child, I've lived in very strange and very exotic houses. So when I was like 11 years of age, I was staying in this beautiful fort. It's an Akbar fort. And just below the fort flows the Ganga and the Yamuna. The Sangam is there. And we had a house which overlooked the Yamuna Ganga flow. And the balcony to my bedroom jutted out into, the where the rivers were flowing. So it was, and when the rainy season came, the river would rise. And every day in the morning, one would run to see, how
Yeah.
much it had risen. And then when watching it, there would be boatmen singing and going across. And what I did not know then, which I realize now, is I could see Ganga dolphins taking, little jumps and going across. Couldn't understand then what they were
Same.
and how wonderful they were. But I think a connect formed then. Also, because one had larger houses and always had a vegetable garden. I mean,
Yes.
cows were always there, of course, but a vegetable. So one would get up in the morning and rush first thing to see bhindi kitni badi ho gayi.
Correct. I think you imbibed it right from the childhood. It just
And then, the birds that would live around us, you would begin to recognize these are the ones that come every day. And the snakes also that stayed within, my brother was very particular that he recognized all of them. We never heard them. So probably a way of growing up as an attachment to nature. I've seen it as it's been a part of me. So that's how it happened.
on that note, I have something from Neeti. So Neeti, this is for you.
Destiny of the horizon, to overcome the night of tribulations and welcome the new dawn, born of renewed hopes and promises. That is why I strongly believe when the universe smiles, a child is born, nature's greatest gift to itself.
Thank you, Nisha. This is priceless. It moves me to tears.
Thank you so much, Neeti.
I see. Look at the kalakar you are.
नहीं
Only
कोई
a
कोई कलाकारी नहीं है whatever little I
बहुत
wanted to make
खूबसूरत.
it. Thank you so much, Neeti. Thank you
I
really.
will treasure it.
I'm glad that I just want to just ask you. You are wearing a beautiful attire and we both are in green. A conscious effort from our side. There's
हाँ जी.
something which is standing out. Can you tell me what that is?
It would probably be my neck piece. That's
Yes.
another passion I
Yes.
have. Wearing, and the person who I have to admit here, the person who sent it with so much love is my child. Um, she is a poetess, par excellence, and that is Ankurata. She's on board right now. I can see her, and she
Yes.
sent it with so much love. So I thought I'd wear it like a good luck charm today.
That's
So
so
wishing her
beautiful.
well, wishing all poets well.
Thank you so much, Neeti. So we have spoken about the cover page. We've spoken about the theme. Now, anything about the contributors? There's anything you would like to talk, about the
Yes.
contributors? Yes, please. I would like to hear from you.
Absolutely. I can't just talk about the contributors. I have to name them. So please bear with me because they are the life of the book. They are what the book is all about. So I'm going to open my book and I am going to read every name that exists within this
Please
book.
do.
And they've written so beautifully. I mean, there are stories, there are poems, there are anecdotes. People have poured their heart out. And the plethora of knowledge that exists, the kind of different topics that people have taken up, it's mind boggling. Even I was surprised at what I received. So here we go. So there is, of course, our CEO of Impish Las, Meena Mishra herself. Then there is Krishna Kumar sir, who has been, he was a mentor. He would keep telling me little tips he would give me to how to edit, be a good editor. Thank you, Krishna sir. Then there is Vidya Anand, who's written about veganism. Amazing. And my dear friend Shubha Sagar, who brought me into the world of writing, I have to mention her. I was busy in whatever, oblivious to, this whole creative creation. And she brought me into writing with her passion. And I owe her so much. So she's there. And there is Somnath Sinha sir, Rachna Kulshresht, amazing. Dr. Seema Srivastava, Dr. Bishakha, who's given such a wonderful angle to it, Siddhant Khanna, Dr. Vinita Narula, who I admire so much. There is my dear friend Shubhamba. I must mention here, Nisha, a lot of my school friends are here. School, as in
How
when we were in school studying together, a lot of those friends are a part of this. So you can imagine how special it is.
it's very precious.
Very precious. Andra Sinha, Nandini Sagar, Praniti Gulyani, Komal Gupta, Dr. Nalini Janardhan, Kiran Babalji, Sri Lakshmi Iyer, Devendra Sahu Sir, Simki Sarkar, Radha Vishwanath, Deepika Nayyar, Arati Rajgopal, Nisha Tandon,
Thank
Divya
you.
Venkateshwaran, Bhagwati Ramkrishnan, Surendra Roy, K. Radhakrishnan, Ishani Bihari, Priya Thanu, Shampa Das, Karishi Chawla, Deepthi Pant, Neeta Srivastav, Shweta Ramchandran, Elizabeth John, Parvati Ramchandran, Himanshu Nagpal, Preeti Kaur, Sonal Jaj, Shashank Sistala, Darsh Venkateswaran Natarajan, Alianza Kuruvilla, Sakina Jabin, Shruti Bhardwaj, Kapil Thakur, Anaika Ramesh, Sarla Balachandran. And it
Oh
is
my
such an
God.
honor. You know, there is a whole family here. I must also tell you, there is there are three: the husband, the wife, and their 10-year-old who's written for this, and then there are mothers and daughters who've written for this, and what can I say, husband and wife who've written for this. I cannot tell you how indebted I am to everyone and every word that is within this book. I
I
am
think
indebted.
everybody, yeah, relates to the nature. Everybody feels for the nature. So I think it just comes very inherently. It comes very naturally to us. Writing, penning down thoughts about the nature, and you have compiled it so
it's
well.
it's it's not just nature, it's the number of dimensions that nature has been given.
Correct.
Like I said, even I was overwhelmed. I couldn't believe the kind of, it's a treasure actually. I mean, not because
Yes.
just because it's I've edited the book, it's a treasure of a book.
So we have Krishna Kumar sir here, and he
Yes.
says, "So nice of you, dear Neeti ma'am. I'm so touched and feel honored. Stay blessed always." That's very sweet
He's
of
a
him. It's
gentleman,
his
he's a
blessings.
very fine
Yes.
gentleman.
Yes. Uh, and Niti, on that note, we would like you to read something from this book that you have contributed.
Um, when I was writing this book, again, the same question came up as to why I should be writing or what prompted me. And it was a fallen tree, strangely. A fallen tree that I was standing next to one day, which spoke to me, if you would like to believe that. And it's a tree that is resurrected now. In one of the photographs that I've sent you, it is there. It was a part of the collage that you showed. So I have written from my words are spoken by the tree, and this is what the tree says. And it says, nestled in the earth brown, dreaming dreams of unselfish giving, waiting for that magical moment to share my gifts magnificent. This is the tree who wishes to come out into the world and give gifts. The sun watched and gave me warmth. The passing cloud blessed me with a shower. My kin crooned songs of affection. The breeze told me tales of the universe. With immense gratitude, I raised my tiny head, split my shielding shell into two. I stuck my green crown out. The glory of the world left me breathless. That's the tree speaking. Please know, it's just kind of stuck its head out. I renewed my vow of giving selflessly for eternity. To give the green gift of love was the message I received from above. You, you stabbed me with a sharp edged axe. Now, this is what we do, landing each blow harder than before. I lay incapacitated, bleeding and gasping for breath, unable to absorb the impure and breathe out pure. Birds around you sang their agony. I don't know if many of you have noticed, but whenever you go near a tree or that there is some kind of damage you try to cause it, you can hear the birds. They have their nests within. They kind of sing out their agony, where you have to listen. The wind whispered words of caution. Why did you reject my love, my faith, my integrity, my honesty? By hurting me, you bring nature's wrath upon yourself. Time will find itself helpless to heal the destruction of your greed. You shed tears of helplessness. We all say, oh dear, we had to do it or we did it. It's urban sprawl, it's growth. You shed tears of helplessness and speak words of lament. Hollow to the core they are, for they show no intent. So it's all dialogue, it's all conversation, and there is no intent. Shame will rain upon you from your offspring. Waste not your precious moments to right your wrong. Be human, be a healer, be a nurturer. You owe it to the future. That's it.
The ending is so hopeful. We really owe it to the future, the next generation. And I would like to hear this say, Ankurita says, your love for nature is evident in your profound lines. But Ankurita, on this note, we have another surprise from Neeti ma'am. So I'll just share it with you, and after that we will speak.
है चित्रकार है ये कौन चित्रकार ये कौन चित्रकार है हरी भरी वसुंधरा पे नीला नीला ये गगन हरी भरी वसुंधरा पे नीला नीला ये गगन ये कौन चित्रकार है ये कौन चित्रकार ये कौन चित्रकार है हरी भरी वसुंधरा पे नीला नीला ये गगन हरी भरी वसुंधरा पे नीला नीला ये गगन
This deserves a
Nisha,
clap.
Nisha, amazing. Thank you so much. But Nisha, before we proceed, you have to say, you have to read out what you wrote. On behalf of all the writers, please give words to
That's very
their
sweet of
feelings and read
you.
out what you wrote, please. That would really be nice.
See, you already have fans in the audience. Vandana says, we will await your performance with Mani Saxena. So now that was my
अभी
thing.
मुझे माफ करना.
But you sang so well. And I had
Oh,
to
sweet.
repeat it because, I wish I had asked you for a, longer song. Thank you so much, Neeti.
No, no, not at all. मैं
So
मनी से पहले माफी मांगती हूँ. इतनी सुरीली
I
है वो.
think you'll be so much in demand after this session. Thank you, Niti. And what inspired me to write this poetry was pandemic. And when everything like the earth, I think rejuvenated itself. So that is the time I wrote this. I will not read the entire poetry. I'll just read the beginning and the end. So it will give a gist of what I was trying to say. The earth is not dead, not yet. The earth is not dead, not yet. She fought and saved herself in the nick of time, taking complete onus upon herself when humans abused her and were being unkind. Can you see now? The sunbeams cleansed of uh, fuel remains as the azure sky drapes perfect shades of blue. Meandering rivers sing a song so melodious. Who is this vying for attention? Wonders the cuckoo. Can you see now how the embryos from seeds shyly peep out of the soil? As no animals graze, no feet trample them anymore, and millions of endangered sea turtles celebrate their freedom as they lay their eggs ashore. Now I'm just coming to the end. Yes, at last, all this that seems like a perfect dream is a harsh reality instead. With vengeance, she has emerged from the ashes. You see, the earth is not dead, not yet.
It is not. And we have to
It is
give her
not.
space. Beautifully written, beautifully written. So
Thank
much
you
with
so
so much
much.
heart. Nisha,
Yeah.
I have remembered something which I need to share with everybody. The time that we've met only once. It was at Lit Fest, and
Fearless.
you were sitting in the row opposite and behind, a little behind, and you were sitting with your mother.
Yes. We
And
remember that.
when I wished her, she said, निशा को मैं हमेशा कहती हूँ कि जो करो सबसे बेहतर करो. और निशा, तुम सबसे बेहतर करती हो. माँ का आशीर्वाद, माँ की दुआ हमेशा आपके साथ. I had to share this incident because it stayed with me.
You know,
आपको शायद याद हो कि नहीं मुझे
नहीं
मालूम.
मुझे याद नहीं. I know we were there, but like I think I have made my parents proud, and I
Yes.
really owe it to Veena ma'am. She's the one who introduced me to ALS. Sorry, I got a little emotional
No,
because
you have every right to. मुझे याद है इतना तो मैं क्या बोलूं?
because I have made my parents proud, not because of, there's no achievement, I've just started the journey, but I have been a rebel, I have been a very difficult daughter. So when they see that how I have transformed over the years, and I've become very responsible, I think that is why they feel very
Yes.
proud. Niti, thank
And
you,
your
I think.
father reads every poem of yours. I know that too.
Yes, I thank you. You made me really, very um, emotional. Thank you so much. And time is running out. I don't want. I just wish this was an hour-long session. We have so much to talk about, Niti. Niti, one more thing I wanted to
हाँ जी,
ask you. Since
हाँ
you are
जी.
so passionate about the environment and everything, do you
Mhm.
think something is missing in our new generation? Do you see some hope there?
You know, Nisha, quite the opposite. The younger generation is so willing, so on board with everything. Just trust them. That is where I think we need to correct ourselves. We need to believe in them. We need to trust them. They are there. And I would not, I'm not just saying it. I have put it into practice and I would like to share. You've just prompted this thought. So, when I was the principal of my wonderful, beautiful school, my child, my school, then I did two things, actually quite a few. So the very first year, I started, then Swachh Bharat hadn't really started. So, but then I did take up, the school as our domain to be left, to be green and clean and everything related to it. And entrusted my children with the responsibility of it. Would you believe, Nisha? They would pick up wrappers from the sideways, their own colonies within the school bus. They would come and narrate their tales. I give them the special time in the morning, 1 minute for the green talk. And I encouraged so many of them, and so many of them such wonderful ideas. And that is what we have to do, because the future is theirs and they are the ones who have to inherit this earth, and they will, and they do it so wonderfully. And I followed it up one more step. Why I'm talking about the next step is because it's kind of related. So the next year,
Yes.
because this response was so good from my children, that I had carried out a campaign called Swachh Man, which was, okay, so if you love the earth, if you are being so wonderfully clean and beautiful around yourself, can you be clean inside yourself? We are all human and we make mistakes. We say things we don't want to, lie sometimes, do things, a whole lot of wrongs are committed. But can I trust you, my children, to have a such fun also? So, can you share with me anecdotes every day of how you are proceeding towards a better life? And they did it so well. So, Nisha, it is not, the children are there for us. I have done it in my colony and everywhere else. You just trust them, you take them with you. Don't forever sit in judgment.
Absolutely. I think those are some wonderful words coming from you, Neeti, because we just assume that they will be unable to do it. And trust is a major thing. I think once you place your trust, they prove that, thank you for,
So if
like,
I
I,
said,
yeah.
yeah, so if I said, look, you're, let my campus be bullying free, that is another thing. And I entrust you to look after each other and not trouble each other, be clean. Oh my God, it goes a long way. Just
Yes.
say the word and they will live up to it. So yeah, there's lots of hope. We are the ones
So I think,
lacking.
thank you so much. I think the next generation is listening, and the parents to next generation are listening, and I think they will also start trusting. Because I think that is
Yes,
what we are lacking. We just
yes.
don't easily do it. So I think those are some great words. Session is coming to an end, but we would like to hear a few lines before we leave the session.
क्या क्या सुनना चाहेंगे आप?
Poetry, कोई भी poetry आप पढ़िए. I mean, the audience is waiting, so it will be good to hear from you before we leave.
Um, since we are talking about the new generation and what we owe to them, the part of this book is also a poem called The Dream of the Newborn. You see, the process of evolution is such that in the mind of every young child who is born into this world are visions imprinted, visions of what the child will come into when the child enters the world. So it's about those visions that a newborn has, that I have written about. So bear with me. Should I read the whole thing? Do I have time?
A few lines probably. The beginning and the end would
Okay,
be wonderful,
okay,
so we get
okay.
the gist. Yeah.
So it is. And let me pick it up from in between. And
Yes.
it is the mother's rocking her child to sleep. And the marvel of nature, her little bundle of joy, drifts away into a world of dreams, his mind moving into an undefined dimension filled with multi hued visions. Visions that were imprinted upon his unaware consciousness like swirling clouds. They whirled, and pirouetted in consonance. So what the child saw in his visions were sunrise stains of pink, orange, and red, like a painter's palette gone wild. Trees in emerald, jade, olive peel swaying in cool, refreshing breeze. Air filled with soothing sounds of tweeting, whistling, and chirping of birds. The infinite azure blue sky with a brilliant rainbow running across its expanse. That's the vision the child comes with. And I can move to the last paragraph. And the doting mother sensed it all because the child and the mother connect. And a dark shadow of guilt fell upon her face. Tears filled her eyes. She looked heavenwards, and a silent prayer escaped her lips. Give us all the gift of selflessness and courage, O Lord, so we may create a world where nature may compose a symphony of perfect harmony between man and this wondrous universe. Thank you.
Lovely. I think it's a beautiful way to end this session, Niti. I think you've touched a chord somewhere, and I'm sure the audience has, totally, connected with you on this. And I would like to thank the audience and especially, Krishna sir, he's such a senior member of the,
I see
replace.
Sapna ma'am also there as support. What beautiful people we owe so much to.
Yes, absolutely. I was just going to mention I'm seeing Sapna for the first time on this forum, interacting with us, and we are really, obligated.
Blessed.
And thank you so much. And Krishna sir, we'll be very, very happy to have you here. I'm taking this liberty. It will be our honor to have you on board, sir, and discuss your books. So we shall get in touch with you soon. And thank you to the audience, and thank you, Neeti, so much. Probably we need a longer session to discuss things with you, but thank you for coming today.
Thank you, Nishan. Thank you, ALS. Thank you, Anuji. And thank you, the whole wondrous universe. God bless us all.
Thank you. And thank you for joining everybody. And we'll be back on next Monday, same time, 8 p.m. IST. And we'll see you with another new author and discuss his or her passion. Thank you very much. Thank you.